Hello everyone and welcome back to my Fallout Wasteland Warfare Settlement Mode playthrough, and we are nearing the end. This is the penultimate episode of Season 2. There's one left after this, and then maybe a mid-season break Halloween special. Speaking of which, though, Halloween's coming early today with the nature of what we're doing today, and also because of the nature of what we're doing today, we're going to be limited in some of the settlement mode things we can do, both in a good way and in a bad way. So we're not going to be spending caps because the danger is close. It's right outside New Hope, so there's no time to be building anything, so we're just banking our caps this time. We are still going to do our Explorer cards because they kind of happen before you do this step, and between now and the battle, so I just want to do them to see the cards really. But our stores are going to be full, and there's going to be some special rules regarding taking things into battle, so as a result we're not going to be discarding anything, but there's also some limitations with what we can take, but I'll cover that at the overview of the mission. For now though, we can at least do our two explorers. We're not doing our crop field with our cooking station because again the danger is close, so there ain't anybody farming. Let's do our first explore card though. Old Mormon Fort. Either try to heal multiple injuries, test skill value 3 times. Oh, this is when you heal the people in the fort in New Vegas, and you could draw stuff. That isn't really relevant for now. If successful, discard 1 stat. Yeah, if we'd gotten this second after potentially getting poisoned or injured, that'd be great. Just going to ignore that one. In fact, we can use our free reroll on it. So let's do that. Vault Raiders. You've never seen the vault. They claim is their plentiful source of cheap items. Is that blood on one? Best not to ask. Draw 3 items, which are weapons. That is what they have for sale. To trade, discard 1 item or 25 caps to take 2 of the items. After this, explore, test luck for each and discard each that fails as it is broken. That one we can do, but I'll need to look out the pre-procured or pre-organised deck of items, so we'll do that one in a second. Ghost. Nicknamed Ghost, there are no locks that Susie cannot open, no computers she cannot hack, in, out, no trace. Pay 25 caps or test charisma to succeed in having her help you in the next battle. Consequence, well, we're not going to have any locks or computers, so that one we will not do. This one we will though, so I'll look at those items real quick. Alright, here is items in hand, although I noticed there is actually a comma after weapons. I don't know why they didn't. I guess they didn't do a gun symbol because there's multiple types of guns, so it can be any of these. So, pre-procured, we have to pick 3. Yeah, draw 3, this is what they have for sale. Anti-Venom Balm. Where were you earlier in the season? And then, let's do this. A combat shotgun. And finally, let's go for this. I made a mess of my... Oh. It's a upgrade for power armor. Boosted servos. I'm not sure if you need a different perk other than armor to equip power armor perks. Probably. But I wouldn't mind having it. To trade, discard 1 item or 25 caps. Or 25 caps to take 2 items. You know what? I'll trade 25 caps. I'll subtract that from our total because that's not the same as spending on building, and I'll take these 2. But we need to test luck to see if they break. Luck on the Sole Survivor is sadly a 4. So... that's fine. That's a fail. The one I really wanted, although honestly having something to cure poison is really good. So that's just going to be added to the stores of New Hope. Again, we're not leaving things and taking things because the fight itself is happening there. I'll let you hear the overview for the quest now, and then we'll talk about the specifics of the special rules and whatnot for this time around. Quest name, Night of the Ghouls. A win will result in 200 caps, a loss will result in 120. As night fell on the settlement of New Hope, horrible cries rang out from the darkness beyond the outer lights. A traveller fell in the dirt as they were set upon by a horde of feral ghouls. Finding out where they had come from will need to wait, as the settlement must be defended and the travellers must be saved. So although there are some limitations to what we'll be doing today, because it's being set in New Hope, that means nobody needs to stay behind. Sadly, Grognak is not here to help us out this time, but we do have the full array of our settler, scavenger, free tech, and then our usuals as well. John, Pennyworth, Dogmeat, and Sole Survivor. And as voted for by a vote of 59, I believe, to 41% on the community tab, Brotherhood assistance from Recon Squad Shield has been asked for, and it shall be given. However, real quick, special rule for this mission. Due to the immediate threat and immediate panic, there is no time to activate power armor, get into it, turn it on, put fusion cores in, etc. So, No power armor is available this time around. They don't count towards having to lose anything, because we're not going to do that this time. But that goes for Recon Squad Shield as well. Now, we also have to roll the armor die to see how many of the squad is battle ready and in New Hope to help us. A single knight without power armor will be joining us with their laser rifle. Fair enough. The rest of this stuff is free game for if we want to use it, so we'll be giving the incendiary assault rifle. Actually, let's give the hunter's hunting rifle to the sole survivor. Incendiary assault rifle will go to the scavenger, I guess. Laser rifle goes to the settler. The rest of it doesn't really matter because of how the mission's going to work, so this can just stay in stored, and that means we've taken 3. We're technically storing 8 because of the power armor, but again, because of the special rules of the mission, we're going to ignore that part of the settlement mode. You will also have seen during the flyover in the description for the mission, there's a cluster of models, and we can take a look at because we're not going to see them immediately again, but there's 3 regular ghouls, there's 1 putrid one, and then there's 3 minis to represent the travelers, traders, carabiniers, people out in the darkness who have been attacked. We'll talk more about that though as we get set up for the mission. So we are all set up and good to go. The settlers and the knight from Recon Squad Shield, who's right there, have set up defensively within New Hope's lines, and there's 2 light sources here and here. They will not leave beyond orange or yellow, I guess, depending of that, because I guess they're slightly further out, but as long as they're in the building, that counts as being safe. And their goal is to take out the threats while ideally not taking out the civilians. So the way we're going to run this is there is 7 of these markers out here in the dark. I did consider like having the darkness, like turning the lights off, pulling the curtains, etc. I decided it wouldn't look very good, so just use your imaginations. I think that's probably for the best. So there's 7 of these markers, 4 of which are ghouls, 3 of which are travelers, carabiniers, etc., etc., who need saving. Our goal: take out all the ghouls and don't kill all the survivors. And the way this is going to work is they're going to move randomly, kind of like how Radroach AI works, you know, that kind of thing. We're going to roll a direction die, and they're only ever going to move yellow. If they happen to come within yellow of these light sources, they get identified. We flip them over. If they're blank, it's a ghoul, and we'll have to roll to see if it's a putrid one or not. If it has the item symbol, it's a traveller, carabinier, etc. The other way we can find them is take shots of them. And they count as having 2 energy armor, 2 physical armor. They'll have cover where necessary, like for instance this one would have cover here. And we flip them, regardless of how far away they are, if they have taken 4 or more damage. And that is because until we know what they are, we run them as if they had the settler stat line. Flip them over. If they've accidentally shot a civilian, they only have 4 health, like settlers do. Boom, they're dead. Normal ghouls also have 4 HP, they'd be dead. The putrid one is obviously tankier, but they have to wait and see. This could either be really quick or really, well, it could be really quick in 2 different ways. If they happen to randomly move towards the light so we know what they are, then that's super easy. Or if the carabiniers all die super early, that's a fail right there. We definitely have the gun advantage and position advantage, but as to whether or not we'll actually win this one, RNG is going to play a heavy role. I kind of got the idea for this from Call to Arms, how it kind of handles civilian tokens. I thought that was quite a fun thing to do. But anyway, I think we're ready to get started. We count all these as one faction for the purposes of deciding who goes first. So that's 7, 2, 4, 6, 8. We still have a +1 advantage thanks to Recon Squad Shield sending 1 guy out to help us. So it is going to be the random tokens moving first as we get started. So the first of the icons to activate was this one over here on the far left flank, and it certainly is acting like a human who's panicking. Ran up the way and then ran right back down. Now I did forget to mention, but once a ghoul is known to be a ghoul and it's not dead, it will aggressively start attacking. It's obviously not going to randomly move anymore. But until we know what everything is, it's just sounds and screams in the dark. So I'm going to activate the settler on the newly restored roof up there. Worth pointing out, if you ever want to do a scenario like this yourself, you might want to apply like a -2 or something, you know, to make it even harder to shoot. My team doesn't need any help shooting poorly, well, barring a couple of times this season actually. So I haven't done that. If it looks like we're landing every single hit, then I might decide to change that partway through, I guess we'll see, but for now we've missed enough this season that I don't think they need a debuff. So they are long range firing. Their laser rifle they've been given, they grabbed it from the armory, and they've got clear line of sight to this icon right here, so we're going to shoot at whatever that is. Long range is just blue plus yellow, and that is going to be 6s. Nope, that is a miss on an 8. Let's try that again. They are running around in the dark, of course. That's a 9, that's one worse. And it's a shame, because it would have, well, I can't say it's a shame, because she might have been shooting at a civilian. So it was the furthest away icon that got randomly selected. Again, just kind of randomly selecting, just rolling a d6 to decide after the first one activated. And again, picking the random directions, just in this really old directional die from my like 4th edition 40k. It's good for that kind of stuff. So this one down here moved. It seems like it's being aggressive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's a ghoul. It could just be a traveller trying to run for safety. Well, John is going to activate next, and he's taking no chances. He's seen 28 weeks later. Can't trust anything. He's going to shoot at that recently moved in target because it's in the open with his 44, and that's 2 yellows. It only has 1 range. It's only got short range, which is range blue, so you can see it. And this is on, well, normally 4s, but his speciality buffs it to 6. Not good enough. Would have shattered all the armor as well. Let's try again. Told you I didn't need any help missing, although there's our first hit of the match. So that is a hit with a quick action with which he can probably do a prepare. Yeah, he'll do a prepare because he might be able to take another shot. Breaks 1 armor, so that target has 1 armor left, and it's 3 damage. They block none of it and take 3 damage, but we don't see what it is until they've taken 4 or more. So whoever it was by the rock that the settler was shooting at activated randomly, they ran over here randomly selected, and it would have sent them off the table, but if that happens, just make them stop at the table edge, unless you want to add a rule for yourself where if something randomizes off the table you can flip it, see what it was, and consider it either gone or safe. Well, this is probably a waste of an activation, but I'm going with the free tech, and he's shooting into the darkness over the wall there at the wounded icon, which means he's at long range with his combat shotgun. So 1, there's no extra dice, it's literally just the skill die, and 2, with the cover, that means he's -2, so he's on crits only. So first shot, here we go. That's a 7, that would be a no. Second shot, that's 1 worse. I told you I didn't need a negative debuff. Someone in the dark over here moved backwards towards the edge of the table and then moved along here. So there's still 3 of them left to move. Whether or not they're ghouls or not, who knows. Gonna have to start taking shots at them though. Well, from his little sniper nest up there, I'm going to activate the Sole Survivor, and he's going to fire the Hunter's Hunting Rifle. Not going to give him the black die bonus because we don't know he's shooting at a beast, or a creature, sorry. But his first shot's going to be there, and I hope he's going to hit it, and then his second shot's going to be over there. Long range with Hunter's Hunting Rifle is 2 greens, so that's going to help him land his shots anyway. So it's on 5s. A fail with a quick action. Well, his prepare is probably not going to do anything, but he can take a prepare. There you go. So that's a crit. That's 2 damage versus 2 armor on the one in the open. Blocked 1, took 1. So that is 4 damage. Again, if it's blank, it's a ghoul, and then we'll have to roll to see if it's the putrid one. If it's an item symbol, he just killed a civilian. Here we go. Oh no, he Walking Deaded it. One of the civilians is dead. Well, that's the way it goes. They were just trying to get help. They were just running towards for help, and he went and shot them in the head. Well, very erratic movement followed by whatever is underneath this symbol. Went down here, immediately went back up. So staying within orange of the 2 light sources is a little bit too short range, so I'm counting it as yellow. Pennyworth moved up and took a prepare, just waiting for someone getting in close to light them up with that flamethrower and to maybe see what they are that way. Second last activation for the things in the dark. It's another V formation. They must think they're geese or something. But yeah, moved over here and then moved straight back up towards the road. The Knight from Recon Squad Shield moved up yellow, still within yellow of one of the light sources, and is taking a long range shot at the icon that just stopped in the middle of the road there. Hitting on 4s, I believe it is. Long range with a laser rifle. Here we go. It's a 5. Everyone's missing by like 1 or 2, and then if I just want to see if I roll a 6. No, not quite. Almost though. The curse almost continued. Alright, last activation for the icons, whether they be ghouls or otherwise. And this one's been a bit aggressive, or maybe just being very scared. He is running straight for our lines, typically on the side of the field. Actually, you know what? Not Sturgis, John would be able to take his prepare. Pennyworth can't because he's only got range red on his flamethrower. But yeah, that would be a double yellow for his 44, and it's 4s. He did hit it, a 1 armor break, so 2 damage versus 1 armor. And they blocked 1, took 1. Okay. Well, to end off the turn, I just have Dogmeat and the Scavenger. There isn't much Dogmeat can do because of the limitations of how far out he's allowed to go. So he's just going to move in front of the Scavenger to protect them from melee combat for now. And then the Scavenger is going to fire twice into that icon right there because he has clear line of sight. Long range with the Incendiary Assault Rifle, black and blue. Unfortunately only hitting on 3s. Without that power armor and a melee... Oh, never mind, he hit. Fair enough. Well, that's 2 damage versus 2 armor. Fully blocked it. Let's try that again. 2 crits in a row. Wow. Alright, 2 damage versus 2 armor. Didn't block any. Took 2. Does the star do anything? The star does set the target on fire. And that does apply. Again, you maybe just set an innocent man on fire, but that's still on fire. And 2 damage of the 4. And when it next activates, it's going to take 1. But that does take us to the end of the first round. Well, after a really good showing last time, my team is definitely back to shooting how they normally shoot. The event going into the second turn is a dust storm. We're not going to be throwing any grenades anyway, so that does not matter. Maximum total range is black, can perform a different action instead. Okay, oh no, before any shoot actions, test luck. Okay, well, if they fail it, that means maximum range black. It might matter for some of the longer shots. Will we remember? We can but wait and see. Well, turn 2 started with the Ghouls / Travellers going first. This icon down here on the edge of the table continued running along the edge and then moved up ever so slightly. So a bit of a waste of an activation, but that means I get to choose now. Do I test to see if that's a person, or do I test to see if that's a person? I'm not sure. Well, Jonathan here killed his fair share of raiders trying to break into his robotics protected area that we found him in. So he's just going to shoot. He sees something moving, he doesn't like it. He is firing on 6s. That is a hit with an armor break, so 2 damage versus 1 armor. Does block 1, takes 1. So that's 2. And the second shot. That is also a hit, no, nothing fancy. 2 versus 2 armor. Blocks all of it. Okay. Well, the icon over here who is on fire activated and would run off the table, so he's just stopping at the edge like you can see. The fire does 1 damage, so he's up to 3, and on an X, the fire goes out. The fire does not go out, so that's a problem that, pardon the pun, is going to extinguish itself next turn, so there's really no need to fire at it now. The Knight from Recon Squad Shield is going to go next. Incidentally, did not need to do the luck test for John because he isn't firing at long range. Neither is this guy, so there's no need to see if it's limited to black range because it doesn't matter. Plus the black range is the short range of a laser rifle anyway, and that's what he's firing. He's going to fire it into this token, see what we can get. And it's on 4s. That's a hit for an extra point of damage and nothing else on the star, so that's 3 versus 2 armor. Blocks 1, takes 2. Oh, we get to see what it is. So that is... Please don't be a person. Don't be a person. Don't be a person. Oh, are you kidding me? Oh, come on. The second civilian has been vaporized by a laser rifle shot to the chest. He's a dust pile on the floor. There's 1 left alive out there somewhere. Ah. Well, my moment of dismay, I forgot he does have another action, so he's going to need to test luck to see if he can... Actually, that maybe is in within range blank. Let me see here. No, it's not. So he will have to test luck. What's the luck on a knight? Luck 1! Wow, okay. Luck 1. That counts as a 1. He did it. So long range shot then is a yellow and a blue. And he is shooting through the cover that he's not super close to, so it would be -2, so it's on 2s. Can he get lucky twice in a row? No, he cannot. That's what we get for killing an innocent person. Well, we've got another V formation from whoever it is over here. I was just thinking there as well, due to the one being on fire up there, that's already dead next turn. If that's the last civilian, we just lose. We're still going to play on because we have to get rid of the ghouls. But we could already have lost, we just don't know it yet. And that's kind of hilarious, but also kind of worrying. I'm going to go with the sole survivor, which means we need to test luck to see if he can actually shoot normal long range. His luck is 5, I think. No, his luck is 4, so he can't. There's nothing he can do really because he's up there in the building and I kind of want him to stay there. He'll take a prepare, I guess. There's nothing else he can do. Well, this symbol is moving right over here, which is going to trigger the reaction from Pennyworth that he had from last turn. He hasn't activated this turn. So it's -2 to his skill, so this is down to, with his flamethrower, a 4. he hit and also set it on fire, whatever it is. 2 damage versus 2 armor. Doesn't block any of it, so who or whatever this is, please be a ghoul, is on fire and has taken 2 damage during its activation. So, you know what, we might as well just activate Pennyworth and try and finish the job and let's see if we've lost. He's just going to burn him twice. Back up to 6s on his flamethrower. That's a miss. That's a 9. That's a double miss, never mind. Pennyworth is only good on reaction shots apparently, so it's right back over to the symbols now because he is done. Well, the last symbol down here just wanted to kind of travel to the west side of the map, maybe hunting a civilian. If that's the last civilian over there, I really hope it is, because that's one of the few tokens not on fire. So again, due to where they've been randomly moving and also wanting to stay near the light, there's not much a few of my people can do, and it's just down to my activations now. The free text come forward a little bit, still within range yellow of that light. Dogmeat is going to stay where he is. There's no other target for the scavenger to shoot at besides the one that's going to die anyway. So I think I just want him to take a prepare. And that leaves the settler on the roof. We just put the prepare there. That leaves the settler up there on the roof with her laser rifle. She needs to test her luck to see if she can fire at anything though. Her luck is a massive 3. Oh wow, she actually can take... Okay, I wasn't expecting that. Well then, actually, did she even need to test luck for that first shot? She did not. So the first shot would have been happening either way. Her second shot will be at this one because it's double range black if you fire long range. Short range shot first though. So it's on 6s. Oh, no, yeah, I am rolling the right dice. That hit, 2 damage versus 2 armor. Nope, versus 1 armor because the bottle cap ignores... Oh, actually no, double bottle cap is on fire. They're already on fire. 2 damage versus 2 armor, blocks it all. So that means the second shot would be at them as well, so there's no need to test luck. And that is a hit. Oh, 4 damage, doesn't matter what they roll. Well, it does actually in case it's the putrid glowing one. Blocks 1, takes 3, which means they're up to 5. Please be a ghoul. Please. I cannot believe it. I can't believe it. I genuinely cannot believe it. The only ones I successfully hit were the civilians. They're all dead. We instantly lose. We know where all the ghouls are. So that means they can all become ghouls now because there's no meat to hunt out there. And we do need to roll for which one is the putrid glowing one. So how many is there? There's 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll just go from left to right. So if it's a 1, that will be that one, 2, 3, 4, etc. At 5 and 6 we'll re-roll, and that's whichever one is the putrid glowing one. It's a 3. It's this symbol here. So the rest of them will be replaced with ghouls. This one is the putrid glowing one. And now they're all just going to come for my guys as we go into turn 3. Ugh. Well, who really saw that going any other way? Let's see what event is applying for turn 3. Boomer shelling. At the end of the round, randomize one model which can be seen from above and is not whatever that symbol means with a object that provides cover. Oh, and base to base. That model resolves 2 physical damage. Alright, so that doesn't happen until the end of the turn. So we shall do that, and hopefully it will help us out now that we know we've just got to kill the ghouls. Well, there's a very simple way to start turn 3. The ghoul that's still on fire randomized to be first. Doesn't matter what they're doing because they instantly take 1 damage from being on fire and burn to death. So it finally happened. We killed an enemy instead of a fleeing unarmed civilian. Oof. Well, there's no more Mr. Nice Guy now. We know there's only enemies waiting for us in the dark. Soul survivors firing downfield, long range. Don't need to check for anything at this goal here. Black die thrown in because we know we're hitting a creature. And it is a crit fail. That is not showing them who's boss. Try harder. That's more like it. That is 3 damage versus, we actually used their stats now, so it's 1 armor. Doesn't block any of it, takes 3. So he's 1 away from death. Good enough. Good enough. The putrid glowing one's the only real threat here, I think, with how far away they are. Well, the goal down here is rushing forwards. Could not get close enough to do a red charge on Pennyworth. That's going to trigger the prepare that the Soul Survivor should have, because that first, the only fail he did was the X with the quick action. So he's taking the shot, and it's -2 to his skill, unfortunately, so this is on 3s or less. And that's a crit fail. You deserve that. You did. So I still have some more long range options. I'm going to go with John because the ghoul that just finished this move is just within range blue of him. And I think he's on a slightly elevated bit of terrain, so I don't think he's getting cover from that. And so it's on 6s, which is what he got. So that breaks the 1 armor they have, so that's just 2 damage straight up, so that's a good start. 2 damage right there. And then that comes down to a 6. Again, breaks the 1 armor they have, that's 2 more damage. John is an assassin. One that also kills ghouls, not just innocent people. Well, the ghoul on the right flank here is also just madly charging in. And you know what, we might as well just roll for it now. Pennyworth's going to try and finish him off by setting him ablaze right there. So that's simply just a yellow, no sorry not yellow die, a blue die. There we go. And it is 6s. That would be a 7. Please hit, Robert. No, that's a crit fail. Never mind, Pennyworth is not easily going to dispatch the final bog standard ghoul with 1 health remaining. And now the putrid glowing one's going to move. So of course it moved up. At the end of its activation you roll a blue die. If it's a bottle cap it does a radiation burst. It does. It's range orange though, so it doesn't catch anybody on this particular turn. Let's see what the free tech can do. Combat shotgun, point blank into the injured ghoul's face, the feral ghoul, on 3s. Wow, he hit. It doesn't matter actually because it's 2 damage versus 1 armor. Yeah. You splatted 1. Well done. So it's just the actual threat left on the table here. And he's going to take his other shot against them, because why not? Well, he missed then. But that's okay. He killed something that wasn't a civilian. Well, Recon Squad Shield is up next. 2 close range shots. Laser rifle on 4s. That's a hit for, I think it sets him on fire as well. No, that's an armor break, is it? I know I was looking at the wrong weapon there. Yeah, it is. No, it is. Ignores 1 armor, so that puts them down to 1+1. Nope, so they just block the extra damage and take 2. They have 11 health, incidentally. As I say, this is really the only threat on the table now. And the other shot is another crit fail. Wow. Well, I'm going to get all the shooting out of the way before I send Dogmeat in to tie him up in close combat. Going with the Scavenger, forgot he had a prepare. So going to do that first. We're going to roll this 3 times basically. That's 3 short range shots with the Incendiary Assault Rifle. First one is only on crits, the rest are on 3s. So this is on a crit. Nope. In the actual first shot for his activation. That's a 10. Could not be further. That's a 2, comes down to a 1. That does hit. The nuke does nothing, so it's 2 versus 2+1. He blocks it all. Well, my last gun for the turn. Settler up on the roof, close range laser rifle on 6s. Setting a light would be fantastic. No, that's a big miss, which is unfortunate because I think it would have. That's a hit for 1 extra damage. The single bottle caps ignore 1 point of armor, so it's 1+1 armor. Only blocks 1 and takes 2 more. Not bad. Could definitely be worse. So I think we're just going to charge him with Dogmeat now. So let me look at the dice for that. Yeah, the doggo has charged in and engaged, taking a black die on top of his dog bite special to try and break through and do some damage. And it's on 6s. 8 comes down to a 7. That's a swing and a miss. So now we have to do the end of turn boomer shelling, although I was thinking it would make more sense if it was rather than the boomers, because we asked for Recon Squad Shield's help, if there was perhaps a Brotherhood of Steel vertibird going around looking, hey, what's all the gunfire about? So we're going to resolve 2 damage against the putrid glowing one. He's probably just going to block it all anyway, so it's not going to matter, but that seems thematically correct to me. And he did, because he has 2 base armor. Yeah, he blocked it all. Alright, going into turn 4, this is going to be our event. Unbearable Heat. Each player picks one of their own models simultaneously. This round the selected models will only get 1 action, not 2. I'm going to pick Dogmeat, and there is only 1 enemy, so the putrid glowing one only gets 1 action as well. So due to being down to just a single unit, obviously the AI / putrid glowing one is activating. They're only getting 1 activation because of the unbearable heat. They're taking a swing at Dogmeat. Oh, they're 7+ strength actually, so this should be 3 black dice. I'll just roll and see if it matters. It absolutely does matter. So that will just turn that to a 2 because that's what it should be. That's a lot of damage, good grief. So that is 5 damage followed by 1 radiation against 2 physical armor plus 1 super armor I forgot to put on him. So he blocks 2, takes 3, of which 1 turns into a rad damage. Now here's the thing, for Dogmeat's turn I'm having him pull out of combat, so that's another attack on him. It's an attack of opportunity. -2 chance to hit though, so it's down to 5s. Still get the extra black. Are you kidding me? That was a crit obviously. So that's 5 damage again versus 2 armor. Didn't block any of it, so Dogmeat just died. Aru. Goodbye, Mr. Meat. Well, what is going to follow is a settlement very angry that their dog just got thrown across the floor and is not getting up for now. So they're all going to just turn and shoot at this thing and try and kill it this turn. And apparently I'm really good at rolling crits on a skill die plus 2 black dice, so we're going to go with the free tech first because that's what you roll for his shotgun. And hopefully do the same thing again. Almost. That still counts as a hit though. That's 3 damage versus 2 plus 1 physical armor, yeah. So blocks 2 takes 1. So we'll just flip one of those over to 5. Technically halfway there, almost, kinda. And then the other shot, almost a hit, has to be a 3, right? Yeah, so close. That's a shame. So that's the free tech done. Well, next we're going to do a combo tech. We're going to start with Recon Squad Shield and then do Pennyworth right after because they roll similar dice. So starting with the laser rifle from Recon Squad Shield on 4s, as that would be an 8. I'm very good at landing hits. That would be a 7, so that is a swing and a miss, and then it's just a blue die for Pennyworth. He's going to try and set this thing on fire again. And this is on 6s. So that does hit. The double bottle caps, is that fire? No. No, it is not. Single bottle cap is armor. And that is nope, so takes 1 damage. So he's up to 6, so he's just over half now. And then the other hit from Pennyworth. A crit with a star and a bottle cap. On fire and armor break, so that's 1 plus 1. Blocks 2. Takes no damage, but is set on fire. So that's what I wanted, because that's at least chip damage that might finish this thing off. Well, I'm going to go next with the apparently cold-hearted John. He's going to shoot in on 6s. Nope, that would have been triple armor break. The second shot is a hit. Comes down to a 5. 2 versus 2 plus 1. Only gets a plus 1, so takes 1 more damage. Now, incidentally, I did once again forget to do the radiation burst. Well, I didn't forget. I had the first turn, but it wouldn't hit anyone because it's orange range anyway. The settler on the roof is going to try and show Recon Squad Shield how to shoot a laser rifle into our putrid friend down here on 6s twice. A 4 double bottle cap on a laser rifle is on fire, but it doesn't matter anymore. So 2 plus 2 plus 1, or against 2 plus 1. Fully blocked. Actually, do they have 2 armor? Oh, they actually have even more energy. Armor is 3 plus 1, good grief. That's also a hit for 3 damage versus, as it turns out, 3 plus 1. I apologise for that, but they only block the 1 and take 2 more. I'm not sure if that would have mattered for previous damage. I didn't realise they had even more energy defense than they do physical, because laser rifles aren't energy. Well, I've got the Scavenger and the Soul Survivor. Between them, can they do, what's that, up to 9? He's only got 2 health left. If they do 1, he dies when it rolls around to his turn anyway. So they just need to do 1 damage, technically. Incendiary Assault Rifle, point blank, twice, only on 3s. That's a 5 with no negatives, so sadly not. Come on, 3s. Yes. A 3 with 1 extra damage and 1 armor break. It's physical damage, so this is down to 1 plus 1. Nope, so only blocks extra damage. Takes 2, and thankfully immolates. Too late to save any civilians, but New Hope have sort of won the day. Well, as stated at the top of the match, because none of the civilians survived, this is a loss, so we only gain 120 caps. The reputation amongst local traders are probably going to be quite bad once they hear what happened here, but the question remains, how on earth did the feral ghoul horde find its way to New Hope? But that's going to be a question answered another day. For now though, the survivors have managed to fend off the area. They definitely need to invest in some floodlights to illuminate the road upon which they're positioned, and Recon Squad Shield sort of kind of helped. And that is it for the penultimate episode. So next week is the big finale. There will be no vote for it. The votes have already been cast. The die is cast. And the way the finale is going to go has already been decided by you lot, believe it or not. You might not understand, but you will when you see what happens. There was 2 ways the finale could go, and it's been decided. So I'm not going to say anything else on it for spoilers. Come back next Friday to see how it goes. Thank you for watching this video though. If you want to show your support, please do consider becoming a channel member, pressing the thanks button, or checking out the Patreon. I appreciate the help and it's all reinvested in the channel. Enjoy the rest of your days, and I made that sound so bleak. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Ta-ta for now.